So I've never made a video like this before because I'm not really a big fan of commentary channels. And I don't mind critical. It's kind of funny. But I think most of the time commentary channels are kind of stupid, low effort. Here's a fuck drama farming, drama alert, Keemstar, whatever. But I saw something that just made me mad, and I wanted to talk about it. So I thought, fuck it, I'll upload a video on it maybe. If it does well, I'll make more videos like this. I don't know, people like it. But it's in regards to the Fallout TV show. So I'm a pretty big Fallout fan, I think. Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite games. Reddit opinion. Ooh. Fallout 4 is pretty good. Fallout 3 is also pretty good. Haven't really bothered with 76, although I know quite a few people that play it now. I think it's actually quite a bit better than when it first came out. I hope so anyway. I haven't played Fallout 1, 2, or Tactics, or Brotherhood of Steel. They're just too old and archaic and not really my kind of game, but I know people really like those as well. But anyway, the Fallout TV show, right? The trailer came out a few months ago, and it looked pretty good. Like, I thought it looked pretty good. And people seem to like it. On Twitter, I think people are saying, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. After The Last of Us show came out, I think expectations for video game adaptations were raised quite a bit. Then Halo Season 2 came out, and people were like, well, this is kind of shit. Maybe we shouldn't care. But generally, I think people are excited for this show. It comes out, I think, in like a couple weeks, or maybe even a week. I'm not exactly sure of the exact release date. But a few days ago, they released a clip from the show. And people just started fucking hating on this show, just decimating it. Saying it's gonna suck after this one clip. And I thought, it's not really fair, Like, it's one clip. And okay, if you watch the clip, there are a couple kind of glaring, goofy little things you can definitely point out and say that does look a bit weird, right? When the Brotherhood of Steel guy jumps off the whatever the fuck he's jumping off of and he uses a jetpack, it looks a little bit silly. Yeah, I'll admit that. It doesn't look that great. You can't really see like in Fallout 4 when you get the jetpack on the power armor, you have this big, jetpack looking thing on the back, and I'm not sure in the clip if you can actually see that jetpacky thing, but it just like a superhero landing. It looks kind of silly. I can agree with the people saying that looks a bit goofy, and then some of the way it's shot is kind of odd. There's this big thing at the moment where people are saying that TV shows and movies are just shooting so that they can get the vertical slice for the TikToks. And honestly, if you view some recent media with this kind of lens, that they're just trying to take a vertical piece from the middle of the shot, then I can kind of see where the people are coming from with this, but I think it's kind of ridiculous to think that every director and every show is doing this. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so some of the shots look a little bit silly. I think the color grading, the way it looks, is actually really, it's nice. It looks quite digital. It's got that kind of look, which obviously is, some people aren't gonna like it. But personally, I kind of do. It looks nice. It fits what they're going for. And that's one of the problems, right? What they're going for is obviously the Bethesda-ized take on Fallout. Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Not the Interplay Black Isle Studios Fallout 1 and 2, which the die-hard fans are going to be upset about, right? Regardless of how it's adapted. If it's the Bethesda take on the series, it's gonna rustle a few feathers. But Todd Howard's obviously pretty heavily involved in this. He'll want his version of the game to be on top, the one that you're adapting, which is fine. I think regardless of whether you adapt to the old style of game or the new style of the game, you're gonna reach a pretty wide audience regardless, right? You can make dark, mature media and have it be really popular, and you can make slightly lighthearted kind of black comedy, and it's also gonna do just as well. I don't think that's really a big problem. For me personally, anyway. Obviously, people will be mad about that. But the main thing people were upset about is the dialogue, and the way that the characters were acting. Which I think is fucking stupid that people were mad about this, right? So people were upset that Ella Purnell's character, the Vault Dweller who is straight out of the Vault, is kind of acting naive and kind of stupid in the situation, right? She's telling Walton Goggins' character to stand down, She tried to shoot him with this, like, I don't know, sleeping drug. Try and fucking knock him out. And people were like, well, this is cringe. Why is she talking like this? Because she just got out of the vault. This is what they're conditioned to do in the vault. They're naive and stupid. They don't know what they don't know what the wasteland is like, right? And that's from what I can tell anyway, that is the entire point of her perspective on things. That's why we're following her, so we can have a kind of audience surrogate here to experience this fucked up wasteland through. And obviously, she's gonna be talking like this because she thinks that she's an authority here. Because these vault dwellers are trained to think that they are the authority because they were special, because their descendants were rich and put into these vaults, right? You know, not all the vaults had experiments in them. Some of them did, but I don't think she came from one that did. So they're told they go out there and they gotta save the world. They gotta fix the world. That's what she wants to do. She wants to experience it and help people. So she sees this guy, Walton Goggins' character, probably terrorizing a town or something, and she thinks, well, I gotta stop this. I gotta step in here. And so she does her little monologue, and she's like, you gotta stand down. I have my gun. I'll shoot you. And he's kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm fucking vault dweller. And you even hear this old lady on the ground who had probably just been attacked by the fucking ghoul. Like, fucking vault dweller.
Fucking vault dwellers.
This is obviously the tone that they're going for. And yet, if you look at the replies on the clip, people are like, dude, this sucks. Oh my god, Marvel dialogue, cringe. And it's just like, what? This is obviously an intentional decision. The characters are visibly pissed at her for talking like this, but why are you mad? And then, you know, you have the Brotherhood of Steel guys show up at the end. They're kind of white knighting her. I know, okay. I can see why a certain group of people are mad about that, right? And yeah, okay. Maybe, depending on how you're looking at it, it can be a little bit cringe. But we don't know much about this character, right? The Brotherhood of Steel character. So maybe this is who he is, right? And if you play Fallout 4, you see that the fucking... I forgot what his name is, but the Brotherhood of Steel companion you can get, who's secretly a robot, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. And it's like, when you first encounter them, him and his like team are like trying to save this group of people from raiders or whatever, ghouls. And they're doing a pretty similar thing to what he's doing here. So I think, you know, like I said earlier, this is a Bethesda adaptation, not an Interplay adaptation. Which is why you're going to see these differences between how certain factions are handled here and there, as compared to the old games and the new games. And since we don't know much about this character, we can't really say whether or not this is like an intentional decision for his character, or how they're choosing to portray the Brotherhood in this adaptation. We don't know that yet, right? Which is why I don't think people can really judge it as harshly. Like, if you take this clip out of context from the show, like when the show is already out, and people know that the show is bad, right? If it's bad. And you show this clip to somebody like, yeah, this show sucks. Then they can say, oh yeah, it's kind of cringe. But if the show is good, and you show that clip to somebody, and then explain why it's kind of like this, then you can be like, well, I guess, you know, if it makes sense in the show, that's fine. You know, like, when you think about it, it's all good. Or maybe I'll watch the show. So it's a matter of perspective, I think. And people don't, you know, obviously people on Twitter, they're engagement farming, they're baiting. But people weren't mad about this. I don't think they're really taking into consideration this is an out of context clip from a much wider piece of the show, right? And it's kind of pissed me off because people are stupid. I don't like stupid people. It makes me mad. But just fucking media literacy is dropping, bro. Gen Z, it's over. Oh, I'm Gen Z. Wait, Gen Alpha. Fuck it, it's over. They can't even fucking read. Anyway, it just kind of pissed me off. That's whatever. Thanks for watching. I guess if you watched all 10 minutes, it's fucking bullshit. Subscribe. I'm Ken, by the way. I didn't even mention that. Fucking hell. My name's Ken. I didn't mention that. Subscribe, like the video, I guess. Watch my other videos that aren't fucking commentary slop. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye.